What? Shit, okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Angry Cast and Satisfactory. We are currently gathering up some resources because I'm going to have to rebuild this entire thing elsewhere because we need power. We are starved for power. You're going to see some things here. Oh boy, let's get over there and look at it. As you can see, things are pretty quiet over here right now. There's a couple of things still running that are constantly going, but they're going to eventually clog up as well. Everything's kind of like slowed down, and the reason being is that we are kind of not at a standstill, but we've got some things that we're working on in the background that are going to be separate from this, and I don't have. And the problem is that I have to keep manually running back and forth to get stuff for this operation. So we've kind of like put everything on hold here in order to set everything else up, and also we've been running out of resources just doing that and running back and forth manual operation. I mean, I've been gone for a while working on stuff, and I've just now gotten to like a second container full of wiring, which I need for other things. So I have an entire operation down over there, yonder, for wire, and I kind of like cleaned it out as well, to make the items that I need to make the Phase 4 stuff. Now, again, these are things that are happening in parallel right now because I don't have time to run back and forth to go get the aluminum, to take it down over the hill, that side to get to build things, and over here for the turbo motors in order to make the rocket propulsion. Because if you think thermal propulsion rocket needs these turbo motors, which I have being built, and I'm slow. I'm really behind on that stuff. What I wanted to do is I actually wanted to get set up for all of the other items besides the nuclear pasta. That's going to be the last thing we're going to build because I'm going to be setting up. I need to set up nuclear power in order to do that, because you need a particle accelerator, and that runs off of some components that are used to do nuclear power. Now, I also cannot set everything up because I don't have enough power to run a nuclear power plant, because you got to pull a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of stuff to make a nuclear power plant run. But in the end, you get provided with all this effort. So if you saw me over there, I was getting some things together. I have a to-do list on my board here for me to get enough refinery stuff set up to do because I found a resource well for oil, and I'm going to use that to do more fuel generators like I did before. And I'll get all to that in a minute. But I don't know what the best way to do is. Let's do it this way. Let's take a trip. I will show you. I wasn't going to do this. I was going to do this all in the background, but I think I feel like we are kind of in a spot now where I kind of want to give you an idea, a heads up of what we're going to be working on. So give me a moment here. Okay, so look at this mess. I mean, well, it's not a mess. Actually, it's really nice. Once again, a wonderful design by TotalXclipse for a very efficient nuclear power operation. Now, the reason why it's very efficient is that because one of the biggest problems with doing nuclear power is, well, one, you can't get close to anything because of the uranium passing by, you're going to get irradiated. Now, I do have a hazmat suit on, and I do have some iodine-fused filters, but those are going to slowly get worked out. And right now, you can't see it. The uranium is down this way. It's underground. I think there's a certain amount of uranium nodes on the map. Some are good. I mean, I guess they're all good. But oh, look, there's a big 90s over there. The problem is that in order to do the entire nuclear option. I say that. No, in order to set up nuclear power, you have to do a lot of things. You just can't hook up a bunch of nuclear power plants and be done with it. There's a lot of things that have to happen first. We're going to go into that. But this here has 6 nuclear power plants, which in and of themselves are not cheap. 30. I mean, I need 5 supercomputers each. So 6 times 5 is 30. I had 30. I did get 30 supercomputers. That's why I have that going on over back at the hub. But you also have to have a particle accelerator and these blenders and the manufacturers and assemblers and a heat sink, or I'm sorry, a resource sink, a super sink, or whatever the hell they called. Awesome sink. Yeah, something like that. Some superlative sink. But this is not set up yet. This is still a work in progress. I've got about, probably about 50% done. And it's not even here. This is the 50% that's done right in front of you. I don't have any power run to this thing yet. I got to generate power to make power. Or I got to supply power to generate power, just like everything else. And I've got that kind of like handled off a little bit, but it's very small operation that's handling all the ancillary things that are going to go feed into this. So I set up another coal operation over here on the map, where this where these nodes are at, and there's some iron nodes here as well. That is handling another 8 coal generators that's providing like about 600 megawatts to supply all of the other items that are going to go into doing this. I'm going to add to that by creating that fuel, the fuel plant that is, where's it at? It is around here somewhere. There's an oil supply, and it's not the oil resource node. It's not the resource node. It's this one right here. This is impure, and these are, I don't want temp means, but I don't like that. This is water. Yeah, this right here, this resource node, it's just like the geysers. It's just like the nitric or the nitrogen. You have to put the resource generator down, and then the resource well pressurizer, and then the extractors. And then I can pump that into that, where we started out at, all of those refineries and fuel generators to create a shit ton of power in order to run everything that's going to be needed on this board here. Because I haven't even got a number yet of what I'm going to need to run it. Just everything on that platform there is probably going to be a pretty penny as it is. You can see right now, nuclear power plants, it costs $2,500 just to get one of them up and running. That's going to be a lot, and we're going to probably have to build up to it. And once we get it running, though, it's going to supply us with 15,000 megawatts. We should be just fine. I mean, granted, you're supplying 15,000 megawatts, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1,000 right there. That's 1,000 megawatts right there. We're going to take away like a tenth of that automatically back out of the power grid. But still, we will have plenty of power to work with from there. This is the biggest thing I have to deal with. But like I said, it requires a lot of work, and the uranium that's coming out into this thing is going to irradiate everything around it. And then once you get it through the power plants themselves, the byproduct of a nuclear power plant is waste. And what do you do with that waste? Well, you can't just sink it, and you can store it, but then you just have this big, huge irradiated area. But if you do a couple of steps through a blender and I think an assembler or whatever else, you can turn it into something and then turn it into something else using sulfuric acid and blah, 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 particle accelerator. We're going to go through all that too when we get to that point to show you what's going to happen. That'll turn it into things that we can actually just drop into an awesome sink down there, right down there next to that manufacturer. And everything will be fine, and then it'll go away, and then we won't have to worry about it, and we won't ever have to come back here again. But like I said, in order to get this up and running, we have to do a lot of other things. So let's look at that first. So, kind of like give you an idea of what's happening here. Of course, we've got about 6 water extractors down here, and I'm gonna have to put pumps on them. And the reason I did this way instead of the easy way is because if I could find water that I can stack 6 on and then drop down over the hill and not have to worry about using pumps, I would, but this is the closest place I could find it. But I needed the space, so I built it on this platform up here, and I'm going to just pump it back up to the thing. So we got that going. So, but in order to get this stuff happening, we have to like build a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you can just drop, the nuclear power plant takes in fuel, which basically is going to be uranium fuel rods and water and it's an input and output. The input goes in there, uranium fuel rod goes in here, and the output comes out. And then in the back, we've got to get set. I can't say. I'm sorry. Above it, the water pipes in. So you've got uranium fuel rods coming in, nuclear waste coming out of it. That's the byproduct of it. Water coming in the top, and then out the back we have that stuff trucked, and then that nuclear waste is going to go follow this pathway down here, all the way to the end, where it gets turned into other stuff, which is going to be run through this. We're gonna split it off. Part of it's going into here, this what's going to make non-fissile uranium with uranium waste, silica, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid. Okay, as you can see on the map, I'm the map. I got nitrogen gas right down over the hill from where I'm standing. And then there's sulfur over, I think here I'm being trucked in. So I got that trucked in down below, and it's turning into this sulfuric acid. And the silica, there's silica mine over there. Concrete coming down over the hill from there. That's going to be part of it here. We got iron down there. This is coming down into this blender, which is taking nitric gas, water, and iron plates and turning it to nitric acid, which kind of makes sense if you think about what's happening. You're taking the gas, you're turning it into liquid, and then the nitrogen gas into a liquid, and then fusing that with iron, which then makes nitric acid, which I guess it kind of makes sense in a way. I don't know. But that has a water extractor over here, so that's turning that into nitric acid that I have I'm getting stored in these pipes, which is not running right now. Why is it not running right now? I've got to figure something. I have to go. I'm just getting everything set up, and I'll have to go through and figure out why things aren't working right. This is backflowed into here. I think it's backflowing. I'm not going to deal with it right now, but it's supposed to be filling up this tank. I want to have it fill up this tank, and I'll work on it at a separate time. So yeah, that's happening. Down over the hill, though, where the iron is, we are building things that we're going to need for other stuff. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I still have passive turned on. I don't care. We've already done. The monsters are no big deal. They aren't. They are not a big deal. They're just an annoyance at this point. But we have a setup down here that is producing electromagnetic control rods. This is a mess. Don't just ignore the fact that it's such a damn mess. I've got Caterium. I've got copper. This is Caterium. That's the copper, making copper into copper sheets through the yaw, which drops it down into this production line here, which being fed from the Caterium into Caterium wire is making AI limiters, which we need AI limiters to make the magnetic control rods. So we got that going here, and stators also from the copper wire, copper being turned into copper wire, and then also steel, which I have from a coal node somewhere over there that's being dropped down into here to make steel with iron mixed in from another place. So it's just it really is a damn mess. It really is a damn mess. I'm taking it from everywhere just to get it. I have copper down over here. So this is all just, I'm tired of dealing with shit. At this stage of the game, this is all I get at a certain point. I'm like, it's the end game. I don't care. I just want to get done. So I'm just dragging things from all over the place. Nothing's efficient. Nothing's the way it should be. I will clean it up later once I get through. But, for the sake of getting through the actual phase 4 of the space elevator, this is what we're doing. Sorry, I was typing something at the same time. So yeah, we've got all that happening down here. There's the coal, which we trucked in from over here. We got 2 nodes up on there. We got a bunch of iron down here and copper. And then we've got, where did we did, I don't know where we did it. I think, yeah, we did it. No. That's the coal. That's the coal. Where? I think down here is where we did it. Yeah, I think down there is where we built our power plant, which right now is supplying us with enough power to keep things going. So yeah, once that all turns everything into sulfuric non-fissile uranium, and it pushes out water, which we then join back up into the process here. No, actually, I'm using that I'm using the water process down to. What am I doing? That's going out. Yeah, that's going out. Okay, so I've got that going down over there. Probably that's where the water is coming for the nitric acid. So once the non-fissile uranium gets pushed out of this blender, it then comes over and is fed into this particle accelerator, which is going to be making our plutonium pellets, which takes non-fissile uranium and the uranium waste. So we've got uranium waste being split into production of a non-fissile uranium, and also the uranium waste goes into the 30 plutonium pellets per minute. And then that gets pushed into an assembler, which is taking concrete from over way down over the hill, which I think is one of the starting points if you choose so. That's making encased plutonium cells, which is then coming out of this into the heat sink, which or that's not the awesome sink. So that's how we get rid of the waste. We turn it into something that we can sink. But like I said, in order to get all that, we have to do a bunch of stuff. Like we have to make the sulfuric acid just to start off things for the blender down there, and that's being made over here using 5 encased uranium cells and concrete and sulfuric acid. And the sulfuric acid is being supplied by that production over there. But how the other stuff is being supplied by these things here, these manufacturers, which are making uranium fuel rods, which is being provided with 50 encased uranium cells, the 3 encased industrial beams, and 5 electromagnetic control rods. The electromagnetic control rods are coming from down over there. The encased uranium cell. Let's see here. Beams and cells. Well, I got one there. We're gonna feed that into this from somewhere else. I don't know where we're gonna feed this into from. Haven't figured that part out yet. That's where I got to go next after I do all this. Well, wait a second. Hold on. Now that's the this is gonna be okay, that's coming from over here. Hold on. Oh, I'm just an idiot. The encased uranium cells are coming out of here and going over to the manufacturer. This is all a mess, man. Encased uranium cells. So encased uranium. So the blender's. I think the blender's going off first. Blender takes the uranium, the concrete, and sulfuric acid, turns it into encased uranium cells. The encased uranium cells come over to the manufacturers and turn those with the encased industrial beams and electromagnetic control rods, which are being down over there. We said they're turning them into uranium fuel rods. The uranium fuel rods are then being used to power up the nuclear power plants with water, and it's pushing out nuclear waste, which then goes back through and does everything. So it's sort of like a self-feeding system. But the one thing we haven't got yet, and I need to make sure I get it, because encased industrial beams are not something that you can just put together and call it a day. You need to have there are things we need to have a constant supply of, otherwise everything will break down and we'll have a big problem. We want to make sure everything's running smoothly, so we want to make sure that these things are being made efficiently that are being fed into here. Again, I know I don't have the AI limiter thing set up right. I'm gonna have to get all that figured out, but I want to get a nice healthy supply in order to get enough power started so I can get everything running. Now I just cobbled this shit together from another video from TotalXclipse, this is an encased industrial beam factory, which I'm getting I'm getting coal, iron, and limestone from across the map. There's the limestone, there's the coal, and I believe the iron is right up here. It's all feeding down into this map, or into this plant. Now let's go figure out why this isn't working. Nothing is the way I want it to be, but I don't care. So here we go. Okay, we got coal going in, and we've got iron going in. What's the problem here? We've got iron ore. Why is the iron ore not coming in to this sucker? Shit. Coal. And this is part of the problems that I don't like with the blueprints, is that they don't always... You can put them together, but once you construct them, they may not all work right. So let's try this. What is this? This is a mark. let's see here. Let's just do Mark 1. No, nothing's flying in here. It's not connecting, or what? Alright, let's just do this. Let's do this. That's a Mark II belt. That's a Mark II conveyor. Mark II lift. So let's put the Mark II lift. And then Mark II conveyor. There's that. Yeah, for some reason that's just goofiness. The way it was constructed. Oh, that's because I had the wrong thing in here. Alright. Oh, yeah, I had to switch the lines because I had them, I trucked them in wrong. Okay, so Mark II, boom. Alright. Whoops. Hello. Right. 2. Boogaloo. 3E. There we ye. Okay. So now, everything's working, right? Still not getting an iron ore out of this one. Why is that? Everything should be right. And now I've got to the point where I don't even have room in my inventory for this shit. So let's... Yeah, huh? No. 5... 2... Alright, that's going there. Let's put some iron. Maybe we can put some iron in here. Oh man, I'm lost. Here we are. Alright. How about this? Watch this shit. Oh, we can't do that, huh? Okay, fine. We'll play your game. Boop, 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 boo. Alright. Ah! Come on! Oh, the saving is just a pain in the ass. Oh, now it's working. Why is it now working? Alright. Now we have it all working. Okay, one there going, and one... This one's still not going because it's still got some frickin'... And of course I have no room in my inventory, so it's going to do it again. Alright. Oh, I see what happened. There was still probably a limestone stuck in the belt, in the splitter. There we go. God's sakes. Wow. Seriously? You're gonna make me play this. This is fun, isn't it? Boom! Get that in there. Take that out. Shit, we got a lot of this stuff here happening. Get rid of this damn coal. That'd be great. So yeah, this is slow going. It's probably not, like I said, it's probably not the most efficient use of my time and design here, because the iron is taking longer to get in here, and because I also ran out of a lot of materials trying to get stuff over here, so it wasn't going the way I thought it did. But we are still making a decent amount of coal for this. Let's get upstairs to the next level and show you this. I'm sorry. I feel so unprofessional doing this, but, you know, hey, this is how we play it. We do it wrong all the time, and that's the way it works for us. Doing it wrong never felt so right. So concrete comes up to the second floor. It skips this floor entirely. Comes up here, or I'm sorry, the limestone comes up here and is turned into concrete with these three constructors. And over here, these three constructors are making the iron. The steel pipes. So they're all making steel pipes, right? And then, what the hell? Did I? Oh my god, seriously? Wow. Oh god, that's not right. Jeez, a merger. I need a merger. Going that way. Alright, what is this? This is all ones? This is all ones. I wonder if that should be ones. I'm wondering if I should make it something else. So that's still making pipes, that's good. That's making its pipes, that's making the pipes, and it's spitting them out. And this is making pipes and spitting it out. So now all the pipes are being made, and then it's fed up upstairs to this floor with the concrete to make encased industrial beams. Are you kidding me? I did... Oh, God. Why? You dumb shit. Hold everything. Shit, shit, shit. No, steel beams. Why did I think that I was doing... Oh, God. This is horrible. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I think I've got it all figured out. Everything seems to be working now. It's not working to the best of its abilities, but then again, I think I need to start adding in some. I think I have to add in some power shards somewhere to get this all taken care of. But we are producing everywhere that we should be producing. All the steel pipes have been taken out of the system, and the steel beams are now in it. It's being done. Everything's running, and we've got encased industrial beams happening. So we can now, that part's done. So that's one of the main things I got to make sure I always have production happening. Like, again, the other ones were the AI limiters, which are bad to have to deal with. The electromagnetic rods are another one that we really got to keep up. And like I said, I've got a nice supply, healthy supply happening there, so I'm not so worried about that. And then we got to figure out our gas or our acid fluid situation going on there. Everything else should be going fine. But again, this is all going to require a lot of power, so I'm going to have to go make another fuel farm out of that crude oil thing I talked about. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. Just wanted to give you that heads up. I'm going to take the time. I'm hoping I'm not going to run into a situation where I'm going to be off a week or two because of just reset, setup. Maybe we'll do some other stuff in the meantime. Maybe we'll set up the other things and get them going. But it's going to, like I said, it requires me to do a lot of manual movement back and forth to get aluminum casings and all that other stuff back and around. So once we have a healthy thing set up there. But again, that's the other problem. I can't just set those things up and have them start running because I don't have the power to run them. It was very quiet over at the hub. I had a power problem, and I lost all powers. I had to turn a bunch of stuff off, and I didn't turn on a lot of the sinks. I backed out some stuff. I tried to I wanted to add a Mark III miner into the mix, and boy, did that cause problems. And a Mark III miner difference of production and suction, resources is 5 to 30. 25 megawatts killed me. 25 megawatts broke everything. And that's... I mean, you wouldn't think 25 megawatts would be that big of a deal, but apparently it was. So I want to take all of the ancillary things that we have set up, the encased industrial beam factory, the electromagnetic rods, the AI limiters, all the things that I need to have a constant supply of or they're going to break down. I'm going to set those up on the coal power farm circuit, and that's just going to run those things, and that includes all of the nodes for the iron, the copper, the silica, the quartz, the limestone, the coal, all of those things being farmed out, and also the nitrogen and the gas and the sulfur and the water. All those things are going to be pumped using that. Everything else is going to ride off of this, the fuel generator farm that I'm going to be setting up that will provide me hopefully enough to run to kick this sucker off. Because once I get that up and running, then it's we're game set and match for us. Hopefully. But again, these things require a lot of power. This thing here, this sucker here, and this is gonna 250 megawatts, and it's like it's not consistent. The depending on what the particle accelerator is a wonky donkey because it just sort of does what its own thing, and it could provide or it could suck up some power, it could suck up more power. It's not a great thing, but it'll all be fine, and we'll get her done. And oh my gosh, we're so close. Once I get nuclear power up and running, I'm going to set up a farm for the radioactive pasta. What is it? Nuclear pasta. Because that's going to require the copper, 200 copper per one. So I will need 2,000, no, oh my, wait a second, hold on. Mathithrite. We have it in front of us, hold on a second. 200 times 1,000. We need, 200 times 1,000. Hit the wrong button. We need 200,000 copper powder. I don't have that many. Copper powder, I think, is a stack of 200. So you figure a crate has 48 slots. No, it has 24 slots. 24 times... Why do I keep hitting the wrong button? Times 24 times 200. I need 4,800. 24... oh my god, that took forever to figure that out. I ended up going the opposite direction by saying that I know I need 200,000. I need 200,000. And I know that I can fit 200 into a slot, and then times 24. So that ended up being 41. 41 times 224, 984, 200. What was it? 200. 200 gets you 8,200 times. Yeah. Math sucks, but anyways, I need 41 containers full of copper powder being produced, and I had that started, but I don't have it to where I need it to be yet. I'm going to probably run. I'm probably going to have to get that set up. I need 41 containers. Once I have the 41 containers set up, and then I have all of my nuclear. What do we need here for the pasta? We need the nuclear pasta needs a particle accelerator to be created, but it needs a pressure conversion cube, which is the turbo motors. The turbo motors. I'm sorry, the radio control units, and the wow, there's a lot to be done. Yeah, I had that all set up. Okay, I have that all set up over there. Yeah, my brain. Oh my gosh, this is too much for me to handle. This is why this game is like it's one of those things that just hurts my brain to even think about. But we're doing it. We are doing it, folks. We're going to get it done. We just need to figure out now. We got the concrete. We need the uranium. Like I said, the uranium's coming from underground. We're not going to. That's the last thing we're going to turn on once we have everything done. It's going to come on this line from down in the hole where the Hobbit lives. And Golem. Okay. I'm done. So that's it for now. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate all your time. Keeping an eye on us here at the Angry Cast, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.